So what we're going to go over today is something called the threshold of believability. And I didn't make this up, but this is one of the best tricks you can use immediately right now to speed up the timelines of your goals. So if you want to achieve your goal, your weight loss goal, your health goal, or literally any goal you've had, financial, career, anything, this is a trick that will instantly help you speed up that timeline, okay? So the threshold of believability, what does this mean? So I want you to think right now of a big goal that you have, a goal that you have had for a very long time, weight loss or not. You can go somewhere else today because it'll apply both ways, and you'll see in a minute. So it has to be a goal that you've had for a while, a couple years at least. We're still not there. Now we have this goal, and there's a point in the future where if we said that point, we know that it would be unreasonable for us to not hit our goal by then. What do I mean by that? That means whatever your goal is, if I said, do you think there's a high likelihood of achieving that goal in the next 30 years? The answer is probably going to be yes, depending on your goal, right? Like 30 years is probably stretching it. We can definitely do 30. Okay, cool. 30 is no problem. Let's shorten it. Is that goal doable in the next 20 years? Yes, no, easy peasy, yeah, cool. Okay, next goal, 15 years. Yes, no. 10 years. And what we do is you go down the line, you can start going by, year by year. You don't have to take it 5 years at a time. And the second you feel a little hesitation, we're like, nope, not that one. That is how long it will take you. Why? Because perception is reality. And I think it's fair to say that we manifest our reality, right? We have a lot more power over our life and over our goals than we think. But there's something in our head, whatever it is, whoever put it there, probably not ourselves, that has put a limit on the timeline. So if we want to lose 50 pounds and, we think, I tell you you can lose it in 6 months, I tell you you can lose it in 3 months, but you have that instant of not really realistic, then expand your time horizon. Where do you think it is realistic? Where you're like, yep, and then take it 1 year down from there. So what is that for you right now? Find that year for whatever the goal you picked. How many years will it take? Or months, whatever the goal was, okay? And now take it one by one. If it wasn't 10 years, is it 9? If it's not 9, is it 8? If it's not 8, is it 7? Where do you get the instant hesitation? That's how long it will take. Because that's how long we will make it take. So now what do we know? We now have the number of years that we think it will take given our current belief system. How cool is that? Like, you literally know the exact time you will hit it. So if I'm going to tell you that it can be done sooner and you want to believe me, if you still have that feeling of, just that second of hesitation, it won't happen. No matter if I know how, or no matter if you know somebody else that knows how, it won't happen simply because you don't believe it. So the question is, how, if let's say for the sake of weight loss, let's say I said, 50 pounds you want to lose, and I say you can do it in, let's say, 6 months. And in your head, you get that iffiness around 2 years. If we do not fix your current belief system around that goal, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks to get there. 2 years to get there. And what's crazy about this is we have a set timeline in our head for every single goal we have or have ever had. And they've usually all come true. If you sat and thought about it. Right? What age did I want to buy a house by? What age did I generally want to get married by? Right? We put these timelines on it because that's what our life, our experiences, people around us has told us to believe. So if you want to speed up any goal, it's not about saying, I'm going to do it in 1 year this time. That's, half of it. But if you still say that 1 year and you still have that hesitation, and you still have that 5 years sounds more realistic. If you have that reaction, not good enough. You can't talk yourself out of your belief system. Okay? So what do we do? What do we do if we actually want to speed up this this timeline because you can and you should. Any goal can be achieved much faster than we ever think. We just tend to say, patience is a virtue or good things come with time. We say all this stuff to trick ourselves into waiting when really we're only waiting because we don't believe that it's possible. So, to the cool part here. What do we do? Well, you have to ask yourself, where did my timeline stop? What's the realistic timeline? And what have I been telling myself that makes me believe that that is true? So this is where you're going to have to do a little bit of digging, right? So let's say your goal is to, buy a cottage, right? Buy a cottage and you'll think you'll have enough money for the down payment and a couple of months mortgage in the next 7 years, right? Well, 7 years is a long time. You deserve to be chilling on a cottage in summer, let's say in 1 year, 2 years. Definitely sooner than 7 years. You have to ask yourself, what makes me think it will take 7 years? So what have you learned? Was it, you grew up in a house where you were told, you have to have a 1 year worth of savings before you buy a house? That's a lot. That's going to take some time. Is that true and is that necessary? Maybe you grew up in a house where they said owning a house is useless, you should rent. Or maybe in a house that said the opposite. Or maybe you saw somebody on social media that said cottages are expanding and they're millions and millions of dollars, so if you want one, you're going to have to wait. So there's a certain amount of beliefs that you've been told and pushed into your brain that have told you 7 years is appropriate for buying a cottage. But really, we haven't really questioned it. And have we really dove in and done like the crazy research? No. Right? So same with weight loss, right? If you have your goal and you have this timeline and you want to increase that time or decrease the timeline rather, you have to ask yourself, why do I think it's that timeline in the beginning? Well, oh my gosh, where do we start? Right? You tried a bunch of stuff and you failed. So now we're judging and thinking we're going to fail again. Okay? We've got cravings that we think we can't control. So subconsciously we doubt ourselves and don't think we can do it again because we have these cravings. That's something to tackle. Okay? It could be because everybody on social media says losing weight slow is safer, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not telling you the answer to these questions, but I am telling you you cannot accept the answer that you've been given if you have not gone out and looked for it yourself and backed that answer up. So whatever the most important goal in your life is, which, I mean, why can't we reach it next year? Whatever the craziness is, it's 2025. There's some crazy stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff that happens way faster than you think. You have to ask yourself, why are you getting in your own way? And if I believed X, or if I didn't believe Y, that will take my 7 year plan to a 6 year plan. Okay, and you do this one goal at a time. And then what you do is you break down those beliefs, you prove them wrong, or you find proof that what you are looking to do can be done. Okay, because let's say, go back to that cottage example. Maybe your parents bought a cottage, but they didn't buy it till they were in their 70s because that's when they can afford it. So now that's what you think is you didn't question it. That's just what you showed. So you think I have to wait till then too, right? Maybe you had a friend who bought a cottage, couldn't afford it, had to sell it. They had to foreclose on it, right? All these experiences are shaping it's basically shaping when we achieve our goals based on what other people have told us and what we've seen and experienced. But you deserve more than that. And I know that you are way smarter than just being given a set of beliefs without questioning them or trying to change them. So if you want to lose weight and you want to speed it up, you have to ask yourself, what's the timeline that I've been hung up on? What are the beliefs that I've been told through my years and years of struggles dieting, failures, doctors, friends, family? What's all the crap in my mind tricking me into a timeline that means nothing? Literally time. What is time? We've created time. If we've created time, then it can happen now, it can happen later. Why not now? Right? So you unpeel this onion, these layers of your belief system, and then just simply go look into it and see if you can prove it wrong. Right? if we're back to this cottage example, if you are thinking that, your parents were 70 years old when they bought their cottage and can finally enjoy it, go look on the internet. Go find a YouTube video. Go find proof that somebody in their 60s did it. Go find proof that somebody in their 50s did it. And so on, and in their 40s. Go find proof that your limiting belief doesn't have to be true anymore. And go find proof of the new belief that if you did believe it, you don't have to believe it yet, but you could be wanting to believe it, right? I wish I could lose weight, 50 pounds in 3 months. I want to believe that. Okay? If that's the belief that you want, what do you have to know? What information do you have to have? Or what proof do you need to see in order to be like, okay, I'm taking on that one. That makes sense for me. And if we do not do that, with every goal that you have, you will always stop or you'll always reach it, but at that point of hesitation in your timeline. So you do this with all your beliefs as they come up. You'll experience there's a lot of surface level ones that you can list off right now. And there's a lot of deep ones that you really have to ask yourself, how did they get there? Why do I think it's going to take me that long? Like truly, why? List it off and then go fight each bullet so that it makes sense for the next timeline that you really, really want. And then go down the line again. When we've tackled these beliefs, go down the line again. So maybe we're at 7 years and we got to 6 years. Okay, 6 years, that sounds doable. What about 5? Yeah, that sounds doable. What about 4? Ooh, I don't know. And then you repeat. Because once you hit that new timeline, guess what? There's a brand new set of beliefs. And you do the same thing. You have to chip through them. A lot of women will just stop when they hit the wall of their beliefs. But a wall can absolutely be climbed over or knocked the heck down, depending on how much force you want to tackle this with, how much energy and volume and effort you want to put into this. So any goal, please, 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 like time is whatever you want. Everybody talks about manifestation, right? And whether you believe it or not, you kind of have to believe it. Because where you focus is where your energy flows. Where your energy flows is what comes to reality. It's not this hoodoo voodoo stuff. It's just science. Like, if your energy is here, this will grow. Period. Where has your energy been? Where can we shift it? For our timelines. Who says you have to be bound by a timeline? Goals are not linear anymore. Not in 2025. Even financial goals aren't even linear anymore, right? If you make, $20 an hour and you're trying to save up $100, the olden days it'd be like, okay, I have to work 5 hours to make $100. You don't even have to trade money for time anymore in the crazy online world and entrepreneurship and, flipping used things on Facebook. Like, there's just crazy financial stuff now. Same idea for your savings. Why do you think you need X amount of years to save X amount of money? Is there any chance that there's maybe something you're not thinking of? Is there any chance that maybe if one other person has done what you want to do so bad, that maybe you can do it too? No matter how much luck you think they had, or how much help you think they had, or how hard you think it was for them, maybe you can too. You just haven't surrounded yourself with enough belief that that new timeline is actually possible. You just stuck with the timeline that was given to you. And so I would really, really encourage you to go out into the internet. You can just Google here or chat GPT or go on YouTube and find videos to go and see the amazing, crazy things that people have accomplished. Surround yourself with extraordinary things, so much so that they seem kind of ordinary now. And then you achieving them doesn't seem so crazy. Because you're the only one getting in your way. Am I right? Come on. Come on. Sure. Maybe your metabolism sucks. Maybe menopause was a pain in the butt. Maybe your husband isn't helpful. Maybe you have to take care of your kids and you have no time. Maybe you have to take care of your parents and you have no time. Yes. But there's somebody who still has all those things and can still make it work. So it's how can you too? But it does require effort in the right area. Not more effort, not effort that's going to drain you and take away from something else you love in life. No, just effort before bed. Write in a journal. Right now, write in a journal. Figure out what exactly, it's not like, everybody says self-sabotaging and you're getting in your own way. And you are, but it's not really you. That part of you that's sabotaging you isn't you. That was somebody else. That was your parents' scarcity. It was your teacher's rules. It was your boss's lectures. It's that part of you that is sabotaging you that you always get annoyed at, like, why do I keep doing this? Or why can't I get my butt off the couch? Or why can't I stop after one bite? That is not you. Think of children. They are blank slates. They don't know what being afraid is. That's why they'll touch the stove. They'll touch that damn hot stove and not even think about it. So at one point in your life, you had no fears, you had no limitations, they were just put there. That's your true raw form. You can find her again. You just have to actually put effort into unpacking, or I guess stripping off the bulk, literally and figuratively. What's the mess in your mind that the world has created? The unkindness, the trauma, the insecurities. What has the world turned you into that's not helpful anymore? It was helpful at one point. That's why it's be stuck with us. But you're listening to me talk not because you want to stay the same, not because you want to be ordinary and mediocre forever. You know that you're capable of exceptional, extraordinary things, and you're not going to be fully happy until you meet that new, updated version of yourself. And that is admirable. Most people sit in their mediocrity their whole life, mad that their kids don't come around, living in the glory days of playing football in high school. We all know those ones, right? But your best years don't have to be behind you. And you don't have to wait X amount of years to have that future that you're dreaming of. So seriously, take some time and unpack why you think your goals are going to take the amount of time that you think they are. It's a great way to see where your mind is at and what's been holding you back. And then maybe you can even, analyze even more and say, who told me that? Where did I get that one from? It's like a little mini therapy session all by yourself. It's pretty cool. I highly recommend it. So that's one of the most instant ways that you've now just taken something that will take you 7 years. You just cut off 2 years, 5 years. You want to do that process again? Do it again. Turn it from 5 into 3. So cool. So simple.